Whoa, I'm freaking hyped, guys. And you know why? Because the biggest freaking scam that's been around for so ridiculously long is finally coming to an end. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you must have been living under a rock. Because you see this man right here? No, this man is actually nobody really special, but take a look at the text above at my meme. The guy who invented the bank trying to convince people to just give them their money for safekeeping, all right? It's nearly impossible. But you know what's happening right now? People are seeing through it. Even the Swiss president, guys, is saying it's impossible to regain confidence in some banks. In this case, only Credit Suisse right here, but you understand the notion. And so in this video, I'm gonna explain a lot of freaking things. So make sure, guys, make sure that you press that like button as things are crazy right now. I can't even put into words just how crazy things are getting. We have ourselves the FOMC coming up in just 2 days. Can you guys imagine how crazy prices can get at that point? And you know what's also happening? We're on the verge of things just absolutely collapsing. And I keep looking in my comment section of people saying, this guy's overreacting. This guy is talking all this nonsense. You just bet your ass that I'm freaking excited. I've not been this excited in a very long while about this idea of banking finally taking a big stab. And you know what's happening next, guys? What is happening next is the dollar not doing so well. But you know what is gonna do well? Cryptocurrencies. You bet your ass that's what's gonna happen. And I'm not sure if this is the big bull run already. Even though it's been confirmed on the weekly, we can of course have some further downside. But you can't tell me that the general populace is not worried. Actually, I should add that the general populace doesn't know anything about this banking stuff just quite yet. In a similar sense, the majority of the general populace, whatever, right? They look at the freaking CNBC traders, whatever. They look at Jim Cramer and think, wow, this man is a genius, all right? He is on television telling me what to buy, so I buy it. And you know what happens? You should do the exact opposite because he's wrong almost every freaking time. And you know what's going on in the background? These bankers, all these guys, they're plotting out and they're writing out. In this case, for example, Balaji, why Bitcoin is going to $1 million in the next 3 months. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this theory. And before we move on, I want to quickly thank every single one of you for smashing the like button like crazy. I've not hit 720 likes in so long. So let's today try to reach that again, all right? At least 500 likes, let's freaking go. If you're also tired of this freaking scam, you're being lied to every single day. Is that not bothering you? You're being lied to by these banks, you're being lied to by Gary Gensler, hey, even by BlackRock saying no in your face, but in the background going crazy over crypto. And to address one comment here from the comment section, right now what's happening is that a lot of money is flowing into Bitcoin. You might say it's not new money, it is. It's from people being afraid of their banking dollars. But obviously, guys, in major bull runs, and this happens every freaking time. I've been making YouTube videos about crypto for almost 7 years. Please understand that I'm speaking with some authority here when I say that every single time a bull run starts, it's with Bitcoin gaining that dominance back, which is what I've been sharing all these days. Which means that indeed, at the start, a couple of these altcoins are not going to be outperforming Bitcoin. Like you see here, I've told you for so long that Bitcoin has bounced in this 40% section. It's going to bounce back to 47. In a similar sense, we said back in the middle of 2022 that it was going to go back to 40%. And again, from right now forward, altcoins can start to flourish again because that's what happens every single time that Bitcoin gains a huge amount of dominance. But in previous bull runs, Bitcoin has gotten way more dominance. In the beginning of 2021, even getting to 75 freaking percent. So be prepared for altcoins doing worse than Bitcoin for a little while. And also it's logical because Bitcoin is a little bit easier, a little bit stabler for these people with high net worths to get into, as again, the banking realm is being exposed for a scam. Now, even the Coinbase former CTO is betting $2 million on Bitcoin reaching $1 million in 90 days. Coinbase former CTO, Balaji, let's see if he puts his last name here. No, he did not. Okay. Said he moved $2 million to bet on the collapse of the US banking system. Now, again, I am not 1,000% sure that the entire collapse is happening. But like we've seen about a decade ago, we're seeing fractures in it. We're starting to see people understand that this entire, let's lend our money out and let's borrow it, let's lend it again, but actually let's lend it again. There's this whole idea of fractional reserve banking, which obviously has not worked in a very long while. That's why I showed you the meme just now of, somebody convincing to just keep your money for your safekeeping here. It just does not work anymore. The central question should be though, is it possible for Bitcoin to reach $1 million in this short time frame? This got 11 million views in about 2 days. I will bet you buy one Bitcoin, I will send $1 million US. Okay, again, I will take that bet You buy one Bitcoin, I'll send $1 million. This is 40 to 1 odds as Bitcoin is worth 26,000. The term is 90 days. All we need is a mutually agreed custodian who will still be there to settle this in the event of digital dollar devaluation. If someone knows how to do this with a smart contract, we can do it on-chain so I can send USDC. If you won't do that, name a custodian. And that's as a response to James Medlock, who said, I'll bet anyone $1 million that the US does not enter hyperinflation. Centering it now to be perfect. Before we move on, I should also quickly say, guys, if you're still looking for a platform to trade crypto on, because our longs have been going crazy, like I've been showing in our Telegram chat right here, make sure you check out the link down below to Bybit. It's the exchange I'm personally using. And if there's any trouble in paradise, I also have a link to a VPN, which I personally use, NordVPN. I just always keep it on for internet safety. And once more, I want to thank you all for 720 likes. You know, even though it's superficial, it makes my day a little bit better. So to go through it for a little bit, just as in 2008, the bankers lied. This time, the central bankers, the banks, and the bank regulators have lied to all dollar holders and depositors. This isn't your typical fractional reserve situation. The problem is that there isn't enough in the banks on a mark-to-market basis to cover withdrawals. They knew it through all of last year and communicated it internally in their coded language. Talking about coded language, guys, it's happening today. ISO 20022 is launching today. People are saying it's bullish for XRP, but I would say let us see. It's obvious from these graphs. See below, you can see a couple of different graphs right here. We could just quickly pull a couple of them up. Let's quickly take a look. The FDIC worried about growing unrealized losses in US banks' bond portfolios. 30th of November 2022. The Federal Reserve weekly remittances to Treasury in millions of dollars. Cumulative remittances going crazy. Weekly remittances, I guess, taking a very big leap. Unrealized gains, losses on investment securities, going from massive profits in the billions, just to quickly put it to scale, from massive wins to massive losses. Community Banking Bulletin highlight unrealized losses lowering tangible equity. At June 30th, the tangible equity capital ratio at CBO fell to 8.7% as a result of mounting unrealized losses on AFS securities, which totaled 1.5% of average assets at year-end 2021. Only 4 community banks had tangible equity capital ratios below 5%, and the number increased to 333 at June 30th, indicating less ability to sustain economic shocks. And by the way, this man was not joking, all right? He has taken the $1 million bet. He's actually accepted it, Mr. James. And Balaji gives an example. Quick update, we are moving forward with the bet, just working out escrow logistics. But hyper-Bitcoinization may come as fast at you fast. So don't wait on us to get Bitcoin. When the printing starts in earnest, currency collapse can happen in days, showing some examples of currency collapses. Time required for prices to double in Hungary, 15 hours, Zimbabwe, 24 hours. And we can kind of go on with this list, but indeed, for 90 days, it's actually a whole long amount of time. Now, to address something, Larry Fink, the $11 trillion BlackRock CEO, said, at the time when the entire banking system seems to be melting down, Bitcoin has somehow emerged as a potential safe haven for investors. He also said payments and the tokenization of real-world assets is the future. Again, I'm not talking about only Bitcoin, we're talking about the crypto space. We should add some more to it though. If 4 million Bitcoin are lost and there are about 15 million in circulation, 1 million price would be about $15 trillion market cap. Real estate, 400 trillion, global debt, 300 trillion, bonds, 120 trillion, stocks, 110 trillion, fiat, 100 trillion, gold, 11 trillion. And we might be asking questions about exactly how it works with the banks and where all the money might lie. But honestly, you gotta ask yourself, is he really that crazy for talking about some exponential growth in the Bitcoin price, as we've seen with all these major crashes in the past? It's pretty outrageous, it's pretty crazy, I know. But please let me know down below if you agree or think it might happen, or vice versa, if you just think the US dollar or the US banking situation can't keep holding up. Again, many are posting that this could get way bigger than you might are even able to fathom. Last week, several banks coordinated to provide First Republic with $30 billion in liquidity. Seems like Buffett Berkshire is likely becoming a liquidity source for some regional banks as well. And Rand said this, and this got me really thinking big. Think about this. I think Balaji's is wrong, but I also thought he was wrong about COVID, buying more Bitcoin just in case. Because if you think about it, guys, really things are not as unlikely as might they might look at first glance. Even the Federal Reserve just posted coordinated central bank action to enhance the provision of the US dollar liquidity. They're wrapping it all up. They have to. Several major banks announced coordinated action to increase US dollar liquidity provision in the global market through swap lines. US Federal Reserve, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, Swiss National Bank, and the European Central Bank. Getting back to it, all the major altcoins right now are waiting for Bitcoin to do something decisive. And like I've said, it's already like 300 days since we've been trading at prices which we are seeing right now. And I should also add, if you did not open along, even though I've been telling you 1,000 freaking times, all the way towards 28.6 or so $1,000, which respectfully, we've already gotten pretty close to as we open it at 21.7 thousand. I've been screaming that for a good while. Bitcoin has gotten itself, after a very long while, finally again a confirmed weekly breakout above the 200 weekly moving average after attempting it many times. And the only thing we now have to wait for, guys, is for this week to end in the green. And that officially means the bull market is confirmed. Right now, there's a very high likelihood that the bull market is back because we've had a couple of breakouts, none as strong as the one we're seeing right now though. Again, we are reaching a lot of the major support levels that we've seen throughout the last couple of years, again, since the beginning of 2021, at the mid 28,000s. You can just see it, right? From looking back here, how ridiculously many times we got to these levels right now, which we are being resisted at. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it gets a little bit of a resistance, so it comes down slightly before potentially just breaking through and going absolutely massive. All the while though, guys, make sure you prepare for this FOMC meeting. I don't think they're going to increase the interest rate, to be honest. The percentages are evening out more and more. We're still at about 1/3 a probability of no increase in interest rate and about 2/3 for a 0.25 increase. But there's a very good chance nothing's going to happen because, well, crazy amounts of turmoil, crazy amounts of panic, and so this might be the best move. But let us see. 2 days left, guys, and I'm freaking hyped up because it's gonna be such a shock to the market. It's gonna make things go crazy, and it could literally be that Bitcoin just shoots above 30,000, even shoots above $32,000 or something on that specific day. So all I can say is, guys, get ready, and I hope you've been stacking up Bitcoin under 20,000. I hope you've been stacking up altcoins at these cheap prices because things might never get as cheap as they once were. Because as I said, we're on the verge of a collapse because, well, the banks can't really be trusted, it seems, because the money is really not there. And understand, the masses don't even know it just quite yet. It's only the wealthy of the wealthy or the investor types like you and I that know. Once the masses start to understand, even though they're insured, because they have less than 250,000 in the bank, you think they're gonna trust the banks now? If all these rich motherfrickers lose their money, you think these guys are just gonna sit by and think, oh, but my money should be safe? No! And I think you'd be very much surprised how ridiculously many people have more than $250,000 in the bank. Percentage-wise, maybe not that many, but nominally, just there's a huge amount of people. And specifically, those are the people with more money, which form the higher risk. Anyway, things are about to get crazy. I'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. And that's it for right now. Peace out.